sap, and these native cultures would coat their feet with the sap, and it sort of make it act like a shoe, like way before shoes were made or even thought of, really, I guess. Well, it's sort of a foot covering, because they would always had some type of moccasin or leather strapping or whatever, but this is even before that. And they used to rub pitch on their feet, and then the pitch would grab little rocks and dust and mud, and it would just make a little coating on the bottom of their foot and make it easier for walking. So it would still be waterproof, it would still be, and last a long time, and when it wears off, you put more on, and it's a way to keep your feet, from getting hurt or whatever, right? Walking through the desert or the forest. I mean, there's even an old, I think it was Leif Erikson, he, on his exploration trip, he used to call them the Stony Men, or the great Stony Men that he had a battle with, and it's documented on one of his ship's logs that he made, and he was telling the story, or his scribe would be telling the story about how they met these Stony Men, and they were firing arrows at them, and what it was that these were the Tal, or the Bigfoot, or Sasquatch, or whatever you want to call them. What they would do is that they would rub themselves down with mud and then roll in the small river rock, and it would give them like a vest, a warrior vest to actually wear, and that's what Leif Erikson was complaining about, or angry about, is that their arrows wouldn't penetrate them because they had these stone vests on. So just a little piece of information there. I didn't personally talk to Leif Erikson, but from the documentation that is available, it looks like they came across these Stony Men, and their arrows and stuff couldn't penetrate because of all the mud and the small river rock that was connected to all the hair. So if you think about it, if you roll around in the mud and then roll around in the small river rock, and you were covered in hair, that would hang in there and tie in there really well and probably last a long time, and you would be able to fight, and it would be like a little bit of a suit of armor. So I could see that. It makes sense. Who knows though, but I'm just saying.
So then what are your thoughts then on why the Tall or the Bigfoot, Sasquatch, why they would stay with this black pine?
I'm thinking that there's something about the pine tree itself that either they chew on, they digest, it brings out a chemical reaction. I think it's got a lot to do with the repellent of the bugs, because you're always hearing, oh, they stink so much. A lot of people say it's a gland that they emit when they're nervous or scared, or they're spraying for their area or whatever. I don't believe so. I think it's got more to do, it's simpler than that. If you always just think of the simple things, and the simple thing to me would be, he needs some bug spray.